Hi guys, my name is Stephanie and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'll be using this 2.5 yard of army green crepe fabric to create this very beautiful short gown with gathers at the downside with puff sleeve as well. So please subscribe to my channel to join this family and also like the video. Keep watching till the end. So I've actually gone ahead to fold the fabric into two with her highest measurement, which is her hip measurement, divided by 4, and also have extra inches for sewing allowance as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is to be dividing her shoulder measurement by 2. Her shoulder is 16, divided by 2 is 8 inches. So I'll mark the 8 inches and then add half an inch for sewing allowance, and then I'll be going down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. So guys, for the neck width, I'm making use of 4 inches. Okay, so I'm marking the 4 inches there, and then I'm making use of 3.5 inches for the neck depth. So I'll mark the 3.5 inches and then carve it to the neck width, and then I'll be using my ruler to connect the shoulder slope to just slant the shoulder, just the same way you see in the video. And the next measurement I'll be taking is her armhole. Her armhole is 8 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark the 8 inches starting from that shoulder slope and then connect it with a ruler all the way to the upper side. So the next thing I'm actually going to do is to be dividing her armhole by 2, which is like 4 inches. I'll mark the midpoint from there, and then I will be taking her vertical measurement from her shoulder to her under bust is 13 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark the 13 inches. And I also take from the shoulder line to her waistline, which is about 16 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark the 16 inches. And the next measurement I'm actually going to take is from her waistline down to her hip point, which is about 8 inches. I'll go ahead and mark it, and then I'll be using my ruler to extend all the lines to this other side, just the same way you see me doing in this video. So I'll be extending the under bust line, the waistline, and then the hip line, and also the chest line as well. So guys, the next thing I'm actually going to do is to be taking the length of the gown. Now I'll place my tape from the shoulder line, and then I will take it all the way down to the length I actually want. Is 33 inches. I'll be completing it down with extra 6 inches, which will complete for the length of the gown, and the full length is about 39 inches. So I mark the 33 inches there, and then I'll use my ruler to connect the line to this other side. So the next thing I'll be doing is to be dividing her bust measurement. Her round bust measurement divided by 4 is 9.5. So I'll mark the 9.5 and then add 2 inches for sewing allowance. And the next measurement is to be inserting her round under bust. Divided by 4 is 7.5. So I'll mark it and then add 2 inches for sewing allowance as well. And then for her waistline, her waist divided by 4 is 8.75. I'll mark it there and then add 2 inches for sewing allowance. And the next is her hip measurement. Her hip divided by 4 is 11.75. So I'll mark the 11.75 there, and then I'll be adding 2 inches for sewing allowance as well. So I'll just go ahead and drag this up to be able to insert the measurement for the downside. So for the downside of this gown, I'll actually be minusing 1 inch from the hip measurement, okay, which will be like 10.75. So from here, I actually inserted it 11.75, but I'm adding 1 inch for sewing allowance, okay. So it means that I have 2 inches sewing allowance at the downside as well. So I'll just go ahead and connect all the points together. I'll actually be connecting from the chest line to the under bust line, and then to the waistline, and then to the hem of the dress. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is that from the midpoint of our armhole, I'm moving in by half an inch, and then I'll go ahead and connect it. Move into the half an inch and then upward to where the armhole is actually going to stop. And the next thing I'm going to do is to be cutting out everything, following all the marked points with my scissors. So guys, I'm actually done cutting, as you can see. So I'll actually be using the front piece as a template to cut the back piece. So I'll go ahead and place it, just leaving 1.5 inch zip allowance at the other side. So the rest of the cutting is actually going to be the same thing. So I've actually gone ahead to cut it, and then I'll be separating the zip allowance from the other side and then notch it to know where exactly the zip is actually going to stop. So guys, I've actually gone ahead to cut the sleeve as well. It's actually going to have a puff effect at the downside, which I'll actually be using the same material to turn as well. So I'll go ahead and cut out everything now. So after making the ruffles at the downside, I will use a small piece to actually turn it to the right side. So guys, for the front piece of this gown, I've actually gone ahead to cut an interfacing that I'll be using to turn it with, and then I cut two interfacing for the two back pieces as well. I'll just go ahead and turn them and do the same thing to the other piece as well. So guys, I'm actually done turning it. I'm done sewing it, as you can see. I've also gone ahead to do the same thing to the two back pieces as well. So next thing I'm actually going to do is to place the right sides of the back and the front piece facing each other, and then I'll place it just the same way you see, and then take it to my sewing machine and sew. I will do the same thing to the other side as well. So after I was done doing that, I actually went ahead to make a loose stitch at the zipper area so that I'll be able to like join the sides. So I'll go ahead and insert her measurement. I'll divide her measurements now by 2. Insert it and then take it to my sewing machine and sew it all the way down. So I'll divide all her measurements by 2 and then take it and sew it. So guys, I'm actually done doing that, as you can see. So I've actually gone ahead to cut this long fabric, which I'm actually going to be using for the gathers at the downside to complete the full gown at the downside. And the length is about 3 yards and 20 inches. So it's about 3 yards and 20 inches, just the same way you see me measuring in this video. So you guys see that I actually have 3 yards here already, and then it's complete with extra 20 inches. And the wideness is about 6 inches, so I minus 33 inches to complete the 39 inches. I have extra inches for folding allowance at the downside and then for sewing allowance at the upper side. So I'll go ahead and make a loose stitch at the upper side and then create ruffles. So guys, I'm actually done making the gathers, as you can see. So I will just place it in the midpoint and mark the midpoint. I actually adjust it to the length that I actually want. Okay, so I'll mark the midpoint of the gown as well, and then place the right sides facing each other. I'll just place the right sides facing each other, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it all the way around. So guys, I'm actually done sewing the gathers on the gown. As you can see how beautiful the gown is actually turning. And the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be losing the back to fix the invisible zip on the gown, and then I'll close up the downside as well. And I'll also go ahead and fold the downside by 2 round the gown, and also fix the sleeve on the gown as well. So I'll fix the sleeve both the right hand side and the left hand side. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. So you see how the sleeve is looking. I've actually gone ahead to fix the sleeve on the gown. You see how the gathers at the downside is looking as well, and how everything actually turned out to be. So you guys, I also went ahead to fix the invisible zip on the gown as well, and close the downside, actually close up the downside of the gown as well. And I also completed the folding at the downside of the gown. I actually folded it around. So you guys, thank you so much. This is the end result of the gown. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and also share it as well. Thank you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.